I thank you for your patience with me this morning. Not too often I'm up here, so it's always an honor and a challenge, uh, one and the same. And I just want to talk to you a bit this morning. I want to talk to you coming from a brother and sisterly place, a connection of where most of us has been, and I believe we all have at one time or another. We'll share. But I'm going to start with uh, John 11, if you will, uh, 1 and 3, 1 through 3, and then I'm going to move down to 17 through 21. John chapter 11, first chapter 11, verse 3, excuse me, 1 through 3. And then we're going to move to 17 to 21. Amen when you have it. A man named Lazarus was sick. He lived in Bethany with his sisters, Martha and Mary. This is the Mary who later poured expensive perfume on the Lord's feet and wiped them with her hair. Her brother Lazarus was sick. So the two sisters sent a message to Jesus telling him, Lord, your dear friend is sick. And as we move on down to 17, when Jesus arrived at Bethany, he was told that Lazarus had already been in his grave, what? For 4 days. That's when he got there. 4 days after he was in the grave. Bethany was only a few miles down the road from Jerusalem. And many of the people had come already to console Martha and Mary in their loss. When Martha got word that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him. But Mary stayed in the house. She might have had a little, was in her feelings a little bit, right? Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. So she stayed in the house. Martha went on and said to Jesus, Lord, if you only had been here, my brother would not have died. Well, Lord, if you had only been here, my brother would not have died. Now, Jesus was a little busy when he got that message, but he was on his own schedule, you know. He was moving along at his own pace. And he was preaching in the villages all along the Jordan River, just sharing the good news. And when he received that word that his friend, his good friend Lazarus, was sick, he knew Lazarus was sick. And Mary and Martha got more and more trouble, no Jesus, because they wanted him to come immediately, right? When something's going on, when there's a crisis, you want help to come right now. Not yesterday, not 3 days, 4 days later, but right now. But Jesus came in what? His own time. In his own time. For his dear friend. When he did arrive, as I said 4 days later, after he was buried, not after he died, but after he was buried, consumed in shock, grief stricken, the sisters couldn't understand why he was just showing up when he could have saved them. And I, from my eye place, be a little hurt, be puzzled, and think about it. If you were in my position and I told you how angry I was that you were upset with me because I'm just getting here. What? He was angry. Jesus was angry by their unbelief. He was just getting there. So what could he do now? Like, you show up now? But guess what? Jesus is the Son of God, God in the flesh. He works in his own time, not in our time. He knows what will be, what has been, what has been, what is to come. So he raised him from the dead, because that's what he does. He raised him from the dead. But that question really piqued the statement from Martha and Mary really piqued my interest. And how many times we look for the rescuer. How many times we look and we see, if only this had happened, we have a consequential thinking. If this had happened, then maybe that would have happened. Maybe if you had done this, then that would have been the outcome. When I was young, I was on my way to a friend's house, and I was trying to hurry because I wanted to get there, and plus it looks like clouds were coming over, and I didn't want to get caught in the rain. So I got to the corner of my street, probably 11, 12. Got to the corner of my street, and one of my friend's dad was a tractor trailer driver, and he had parked this big tractor trailer at the corner of our street. So at the very corner, you're crossing there. I couldn't see if anything was coming. I was like, okay. Well, it's shorter distance right here. I guess I'll go around. Here, Hey, right? Okay, nothing's there. Here I am. Oh, nothing's there. Run across the street. Well, being careful, I thought. I peeked my head out a couple of times to check if anything was coming. Since the check truck was so wide, I made sure I stuck my head up good. But I went back up and I proceeded because the path was clear ahead of me. And I dashed out. I'm going to my friend's house. All of a sudden, I don't know how, but I think I may have turned to look one more time, maybe the wave as he went by, but the car shot on by, hit me across the hip, entangled my arm in the side view mirror, and dragged me down the street. Oh my goodness. You know how they talk about those out of body experiences? Mm. I had an out of body experience. Now it wasn't so much when I got hit by the car. It was actually when I was laying on the ground with my face planted against the asphalt. I said, I heard people running, but I couldn't open my eyes. people talking, but I couldn't move my lips. And suddenly, I heard the sound of raindrops on my head and feet running in the distance away. I thought that was the time somebody, you hear the sounds and all that kind of stuff. But in any case, I lay there in the street with the raindrops falling on me, and I thought, if only I wait just a little bit longer. If only I had crossed that street from the back of the tractor trailer. You see, difficulties are going to catch up to us in a cycle of having us second guess ourselves. And like if only I had taken college a little more seriously. Anybody ever been there? If only my child or my spouse wasn't getting high. Maybe the bills would get paid. Maybe I wouldn't have to keep taking off from work to go and see about them at school. Maybe. If only I had been a better parent, a better spouse, a better employee, life would look different. If only I had found that cancerous lump a little sooner. If only I had told someone, anyone, I was gay sooner. Would my life look different? Would things be different for me today? If only I said nothing at all. What would that be like today? Well, when trouble pops up in our lives unexpectedly, we'll sometimes question God's goodness, even his motives, even his existence. Even saying, if there was a God, this wouldn't have happened. And sometimes we don't tell people that we won't speak it. Nobody ever know. But I've been there. My mother's gone. If there was a God, he'd know I couldn't make it without her. He'd know that we were joined at the hip and there was no separation. If only. We don't understand why hard things happen to us. We don't understand. We try to understand with this mind. We may have been in a state of grief or despair like Mary or Martha, saying if only Jesus came when we needed him. When Lazarus was sick, we would not be standing here this great. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. Are you called according to his purpose? He is all-knowing. He knows the beginning and the end. And when we attempt to decipher God's actions or his mindset, we've already started down a slippery slope. Really? Yes, for real. We've already started down a slippery slope. But this is the point where faith comes in. This is the point where faith comes in. When the rug is pulled from under us. Faith. When things look darkest in our lives. away. Faith. When the children are going crazy and God's called mama home, I'm getting personal now. And she's no longer around to let me know, to give me a little advice on what to do with these kids. To tell them how to straighten up and fly right. Give them that look, you know. You know how mom's got that look? Straighten up, fly right. It's in these places that our faith is refined. It's in these places, say it again, that our faith is refined, church. He gave me the gift of reflection in times like these. As the songwriter says, when I look back over my life and I think things over, what? I can truly say that I've been blessed. I've got a testimony. Nothing that happens is for nothing. Nothing that happens is for nothing. We will not understand every decision, every move that God makes. However, He does give us His word and puts it in perspective for us. That song spoke to my spirit over years and years and years, and I realized that gift of revelation, that gift of reflection. When I look back, when I was a teenage mother, when I was molested, when I got in my first car accident, when I lost the job of my dreams, when I look back over my life, I didn't understand why these things were happening when I was trying to do the right things, but it just wasn't coming together. The enemy even had me thinking, you're cursed. You're cursed. You know your aunt so-and-so said your cars ain't no good anyway. She wasn't up there. Said my mama's children wasn't no good anyway. Wasn't gonna be no good. Because the granddaddy. Wow. Yeah, right? And the children hearing that. But those things He allowed me to reflect on to see where I am today. 3 beautiful children, 3 beautiful grandchildren. I've touched many lives in the work that I've done over the years. I've had family and found new family. I look back over my life. I thought things over, and now I can call myself blessed. Blessed. And what? Highly favored are you and you and you. And highly favored, yes. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, these things I'm going to leave you with. 1, trust in the Lord with all your heart. That's the part we negate that at times. Not some, not a little bit, not when it feels good, not only when He came through. Forget when you've been let down. No, He said in all, with all your heart. Look back on all He's brought you through, the battles He's fought for you, the ways He's made out of what? No way. No way. No way. My grandmother taught me early on. She said, Annette, I don't care. Teach me to go to market as a young mother. She said, I don't care what you got to get when you go to the market. You always make sure you got some flour, you got some grease, you got some potatoes, you got some onions. You can always make some fried potatoes and onions. You can always make them children some biscuits. You can always make some pan gravy. She said it may not be what they want to eat, but their bellies will be full.
That's right.
Their bellies will be full. I heeded that advice. You will never come up in my house and I see some of that in there. See all of it in there. Excuse me. Do not depend on your understanding. We get tripped up there as well. Do not depend on your own understanding. I have a logical mind. It has to make sense to me. If it doesn't fit, we're going to keep going over this thing because something just ain't right. Something just ain't right. You got to tell me how this makes sense because it's not coming together for me. And I will get in that thing, and it's hard to shake it loose. But with prayer, you'll see it's not for you to figure out. Have you been caught up in your feelings over something that happened or someone who treated you or mistreated you? Were you always able to make the best decisions about that situation? Believe me, God knows you really well. Thirdly, seek His will in all you do, and He'll show you which path to take. You don't have to wonder. And if you're in that state, be still. That means be still. Because you want to seek His will in all you do. So if you have not heard a word from Him, if you have not heard a voice from Him, if you have not had something that stood out and said, this is what I have for you. To me, it's everybody has their thing, but to me, God speaks to me in threes. I'll hear something, then I might see something else. Same thing, remind me of that. Then I look, something else is talking about that. How could they have known? But God. But God. That's and when we seek Him, that means we go to Him. We go to Him in prayer. This is the path that we take. This is the path that He set forth before us to come to Him in prayer. Don't just mumble and groan and moan and complain and fuss and nag and all everyone around you. Go to God. Look, just come here a minute. Go in the bathroom. Go wherever. Stop. Cease and desist. Pray. This is the power that God has given us. He's given us a direct line to Him. A direct line to Him. We don't have to wonder. Pray. To seek His will, not ours. His will, not ours. Because He knows what's best for us. He knew us before we knew ourselves. Trust. Depend on Him. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do. And we'll find direction. We'll find comfort. Those times when we don't think we can go another step, deal with another issue, another problem, another crisis, He'll comfort us. His love is everlasting. It will not leave us. Our needs will always be met. If we just hold on to God's unchanging hand. Thank you, family.